Why are you frightened of democracy with local elections, Mr. Jones?
In this video, we are going to watch a car crash interview with Labour's Darren Jones. Not only does he admit that the digital state is coming whether you like it or not, but watch how he crumbles when Nick Ferrari asks him why Labour is cancelling local elections. Is this democracy or is this a technocratic takeover? If you want to see more videos like this, hit the like and subscribe button and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Now, let's watch this together. And then I'll share my thoughts at the end.
Well, of course, that digital state could have included digital ID, but that's sort of half-shelved and no longer compulsory, isn't it? That's a bit embarrassing for you.
Look, there are two different things here. So the digital ID, basically the ability to log into the app and prove who you are, we're still delivering that, and it will be available in a couple of years' time. That will essentially be the front door to the new state, the government app. The digital checks on your right to work, they will still be mandatory from 2029, but one of the questions we're consulting on, which we open in a couple of weeks, is you can actually prove your identity digitally either with a government ID or by, for example, scanning your passport, and we think there are a number of options there for people to use, so that will still happen from 2029.
The speech you're giving today, how is success to be judged?
By the rapturous applause at the end.
After the third standing ovation, the third SO, how will we know that the civil service is moving like a well-oiled machine, Mr. Jones?
Well, the public will be able to get what they need quickly through their phone. That's essentially the test of it. So that if you're trying to sort your childcare or talk to the tax man or check your eligibility for universal credit, or those types of things, in the years ahead, you should be able to do that in a quick and convenient and simple way on your app at a time that suits you, and you won't have to rely on all these call centres and forms and explaining your story a million times to different parts of government. That's going to be the measure of success.
You're a smart bloke. You've noted it is a very busy news day. I have a couple of things to put you, not least a post that has come within the last hour and a bit from Donald Trump, talking about how we the United Kingdom, are a brilliant NATO ally, but also saying that we've committed an act of great stupidity to, and these are his words, give away the island of Diego Garcia. Mr. Jones' reaction to the President's words?
The island of Diego Garcia is an important military base for the United Kingdom, which we share with our NATO allies, including the United States. We agree with the President on that. The island obviously was an island from the British Empire. There was a challenge to the sovereignty of it from the Mauritian government. And what we've done is a deal with the Mauritians that protects that island for the next century to be used as a military base with proper security powers and guarantees for both the island and the seas around it to protect our capabilities there. That was welcomed by the American administration when we did the deal. The treaty's been signed, it's been welcomed by NATO allies, and we think that's the best solution to protecting that military base, as I say, for the next century.
What is the approach that needs to be taken from the United Kingdom towards Donald Trump? He doesn't appear really to have responded positively to the Prime Minister's words almost 24 hours ago.
Look, I think if you judge the Prime Minister on his successes, whether it's on protecting the car industry, getting zero tariffs on British-made medicines, whether it's getting the technology trade deal up and running between the US and the UK, whether it's getting the President's support for interventions in Ukraine, and those types of things, it shows that the Prime Minister's relationship with the President matters, but it also shows that British diplomacy is the right way to respond to what I agree is an unusual way of conducting world affairs. That's been successful for us so far. It's challenging, I totally recognise that, but I think the way the Prime Minister is playing it is right. That's been proven so far, and that's how he's going to continue to do it.
One story that's making front page news: ministers have consult on a social media ban for the under-16s and toughen up rules on mobile phones in schools. Does this represent another U-turn, Mr. Jones?
No, it doesn't. The Prime Minister is always rightly concerned about the well-being of young people and children in relation to social media. We've legislated recently to put protections in place, but we think there may be areas that we can go further on. But equally, you don't want to just close off all of these opportunities for young people if they're engaging with news content or accessing support services and those types of things, which is why the NSPCC and others have said a ban isn't appropriate. So we're not coming out today with a fully formed answer, but we're recognising that there's a need for a national conversation with parents and young people and tech companies.
What does a national conversation look like? That's a strange one. How does that take place?
Well, it's basically a kind of enhanced form of government consultation. So instead of someone just filling out a form on the website, we'll be going around the country and talking to young people and parents to see what more we can do to protect young people's well-being.
What's your message to Hillsborough families? I read that now there could be an indefinite delay to the so-called Hillsborough Law, Chief Secretary.
Well, we've got 99% of the way with the Hillsborough families to legislate for the duty of candour, which is an important and personal commitment from the Prime Minister. We've hit a little bit of a knot about how that works with the intelligence agencies, who obviously have to conduct their business in a way that protects national security, which means that the duty of candour has to apply differently to them. What we've done is we've said to the families, we're not going to rush this last bit. So it's not an indefinite pause, as in that we're not getting on with the bill.
Not rush this. I mean, this goes back to the 1980s, and Sir Keir's promises go back years.
Sure. But the bit about how the intelligence agencies have to comply with the duty of candour has been a policy discussion we've been having over the last few weeks, essentially. So the families have asked for more time to discuss that with us, and we've respected that request, and that's why we've decided to take a bit more time on this last bit.
When will the Hillsborough Law become law? 2026?
We want it to become law as soon as possible, but we do want to make sure that we take the time that the families want to have with us to get this final bit into the best possible place. The Prime Minister will never undermine national security, but he also recognises that we want to work with the families to get the duty of candour as it relates to the intelligence agencies in the best possible place. And I think it's right that we take the time to do that properly, so that when we do come to a vote on the floor of the House of Commons, the families don't feel that it's been rushed from their perspective.
Have you got a bit of rumblings of rebellion within your ranks? Last night I read Labour MPs use an urgent question tabled by Sir James Cleverly, the Conservative, to criticise their own party's decision to cancel local elections. They said the move, quotes, is embarrassing. Why are you frightened of democracy with local elections, Mr Jones?
We're not frightened of democracy. Councils themselves were able to request a short delay to their elections if they're going through a reorganisation. And a number of councils have asked for that. This isn't the government imposing it on councils. Councils have asked for it. And some MPs across the House, presumably in those local areas, may have different views to their councils. They're perfectly entitled to represent their constituency view on that. But the key point here is that if a council is reorganising, you don't want to go through a costly set of elections for a number of councillors and then have to redo it 5 minutes later because you've changed the boundaries of the council.
Why does it take 3 years to rearrange the local authority elections?
I mean, everything takes too long is my general view, Nick. I mean, I don't disagree with the sentiment, but that's what I'm told it requires, probably because of constitutional changes and finance systems and HR and job contracts and all that type of stuff. I would rather it move quicker than that. But
meanwhile, 3.75 million people can't vote.
They'll get to vote for their new council.
So you're not frit?
It's been set up. No, not at all. I say this is not us imposing it on councils. This is the councils themselves asking for it on the basis that they're going through a process of change, and we're just respecting their request to do that.
Finally, the Sunday Times had an interesting report about you yesterday, on the weekend, suggesting you're involved in a briefing war against your close friend and colleague Wes Streeting. Are you channeling your inner Alan Carr here as a traitor?
No, I'm definitely not. Look, the story is complete nonsense. Wes knows, as well as all of my colleagues, that there's absolutely no truth to it. I do not brief against Wes, who is a friend and colleague of mine. I don't brief against any of my colleagues. It's not how I conduct myself. And as I've said repeatedly, because this was the second attempt someone has tried to plant this story, and the first time they failed. Remember when they briefed against Wes the first time round? The second time they got the second half of the plot in, that it was my bright idea, and whoever it is, I tell them to get on with the bloody job or get out.
Third time lucky, as I could respond, of course, Mr. Jones. All right, a fast-moving civil service promoting the doers, not the talkers, as outlined by Darren Jones, Chief Secretary to the Prime Minister.
So, there you have it. 3 things we learned. 1, digital ID checks are going to be the front door to the state by 2029. 2, they don't care that Donald Trump thinks they are stupid for giving away strategic islands. And 3, my personal favourite, did you catch that excuse for cancelling elections? He blamed HR and job contracts. Since when does HR trump your right to vote? They are terrified of the ballot box. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Thanks for watching.